No? Remember the whole, oh, the last thing we did, sure. We did base and we finished with
We
the
did the
Alter
Kuntres
Rebbe.
Achas from the Alter Rebbe. Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I won't say it's Chatoni Maskir Hayoim, but after we had the session, I had reason to talk to Shmuley Myers, who's the one who's marking the thing. I had something to settle with him, Baruch Hashem.
Yeah.
So to me, I said, "Zos wissen sein."
Luckily for him, it got settled, huh?
Yeah, no, I know it was reasonable.
Yeah.
And and any bossy betanus, I didn't come with no. But I told him about the Kunta Sachren. I told him the whole thing of the Shach and the Kunta Sachren, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was so spoiled by it. I said, this is Rabbi Markel's session we did not have mention of this in the thing.
It's brought in the footnotes over here.
Yeah, but apparently we didn't.
But he didn't really mention it. He just it's like he offhand mentioned the footnote really.
Yeah, but you know something. This is. I don't even
Like, look,
understand.
he explains about the it's a very funny thing because he explains that the Alter Rebbe's the little point that mevor b'shvon har exeres anachri asura rakshim skav nigzel mamish am nas leilachzir aval in gozmer on nas shalim muter fine, and that's also from that kuntis achron, but then it's completely skipped the whole, like, the gold.
I mean, I don't want to, but would you not agree with me that the Alter Rebbe's husband that he took the mashkan of the goy and he was
Well,
mekadesh.
it only is special once you've brought up, see, because since they didn't bring up over here the whole question of the shach under Ramah at all, it's almost like a by the way thing, but it's not. It's
It's
really
not.
it brings up unbelievably relevant points. But they didn't bring the Bichlal, the whole thing with the
No,
shach and his kasha.
after we learned this, and I looked at it again, alone. Acharayiyun, chashavti, as I say, that maybe over here the Alter Rebbe, yesh lodun, if the Alter Rebbe was mefarish the divrei haramah aliba to the first opinion or the second opinion. Yesh lodun beze. I'm not totally convinced it's aliba to both
I
opinions.
I think it's according to both, because the problem is not
I
about.
hope so. I
I'll
tell
tell
you, I
you why.
hope
No, I'll
so.
tell you why. Because the
Yeah.
problem, what the Ramah talks about is he's talking about hita isay, or mata es or mata es atzmei, right? This whole question that Shach has on him is not on hita isay. So let's say you say that which we know how the Ramah goes anyways, because the Yam Shel Shlomo brings.
Yeah. Right. Okay,
But
hold,
fine. But either way, it could go according to either. Meaning, now let's go to how about that and that other place. It
can I tell you
seems
something?
like that Amma is arguing on Gezel being midiraisa,
Right.
or even being usher even the Rabbanan perhaps, right? And then he brings up nothing here about that. That's the big shaila. And here he brings up nothing, which
But
implies that he agrees to the mechaber.
the thing is, obviously, but then, uh, in other words, you're saying no. I say maybe the Alter Rebbe was only mefarish is aliba to the Ramon, not aliba to what he who holds himself. That's one question I have. And second of all,
Okay.
that's one
No,
kasha
I don't think so, because I think the Alter Rebbe is fitting it in
into it.
that Amma Taka holds like the Mechaber, and like the Alter Rebbe is saying it's the Eraisa. Elamai, here we're talking about Pikodin that Boli Yode Beheter. That's
Beheter,
why.
right? So that's a new thing.
So,
So,
which it would seem that the Alter Rebbe is fitting in the Ramah. That
yes,
not only that, that's why it so beautifully answers the shaila of the Shach. Because what's the shaila of the Shach? The shaila of the Shach is in this other sugya, but here the Ramah is all garnished. He says nothing, which implies he agrees with the Alter Rebbe, with
Very
the
good.
Mechaber. How can you say that?
That's a tremendous diuk. It's a tremendous diuk that you're saying that that the Ramo over here doesn't even basheftik zich with a case of beheter yodoi. But the thing is this: the interesting thing learning like this, and I totally agree with you, by the way. But as a haora be'alma, I'm telling you that it's giving you a new hagdora in shita samechaber.
Yeah, because there's no reason to believe that the Mechaber holds any different than that.
And he
aligns everybody with everybody. It's amazing.
Right, and the Alter Rebbe was so sharp about Gezel Akum, right? He writes it. The Hagdara is that's it's the Reise. Das ist als gesagt geworden, if you're talking about when in Bobbe Israel Yodoi, then it's the right. But that's the Alter Rebbe.
It's like a base level gather there we're talking.
I don't think anybody.
It's a very important.
Of course. Because there's no Hator and there's no Matter
we're talking is it's a form of gezel. So wait a second, did I say how about Bali Yodi Beheter? It's a different story.
I think the Alter Rebbe still says that gezel does, but azag gezel derabanon, azag gezel heis derabanon, gezel does.
Yeah. And furthermore, it doesn't stop the Kinyan.
Simultaneous. Well,
because also that's an important point here.
And more than that, if you come to think about it, Kol Mekadesh adaite the Rabbanon Mekadesh, right? It's Kedas Moshe Yisrael, right? You learn now the Gemara learns the Kiddushin. But notice how over here the Chachomim haben sich nicht reingemischt. How the Chachomim were not me'aker the Kiddushin on the basis that it's a Gezela Derabanan. Right. Gezelas Akum. Here they didn't. That's an important order, I think. Because normally, Kolamisaken can the Raisa talk.
But I think he goes. I think it goes in a sense even a step further, because it's not that it's Gezel Midrabanan. It's that the Rabbanon were they had a chash that it's going to end, that it's going to be Chil Hashem, and that's why. Meaning Me'ikar Hadin, they didn't hold its Gezel. Not that they made a Gzeda that it's Gezel.
Why? Because
they made a Gzeda that and here's I think a key point. If you look how the Alter Rebbe words it, it's that they were Gezer that she has to return it. Why? Because it's going to be a Chil Hashem, meaning that they held Me'ikar Hadin. It was mutter. It's
only the Chil Hashem that did it.
Right. But because it's going to be a Chil Hashem, you have to return it. Even though be'etzem Me'ikar Hadin. So that's why it doesn't wipe it out, because be'etzem, the transaction that he gave her this ring is good. We just don't want to Chil Hashem, so you got to give it back.
So let's make a sikum on this, and and the sikum is like this: Be'etzem, the Kenyan was a good Kenyan, and Be'etzem she's mekudeshes, because when you're mekadesh,
100% mekudeshes, and the Kenyan are good the Kenyan.
Yeah, it's a good Kenyan, right? Yeah. Now you're telling me that you should take back the chayfetz that he was mekadesh.
Right. She has to return the item now.
Yeah, but. Is it like Amekadesh b'matona menas v'hachzir? You have tremendous problems with that.
No, because be'etzem the Kenyan was a Kenyan. Now for a whole different reason she has to give it back. But be'etzem, why? Because we don't want Chil Hashem happening.
I understand.
And remember, the whole thing of Chil Hashem is a whole different issue.
Exactly.
But be'etzem, the Kenyan is a good Kenyan, just like a mecher would be a good mecher.
So
Not,
you,
not,
when
not
you
only
say
that,
when
I
you
wonder, I wonder if she can now go tiny him for what do you call it?
100%.
Her place or whatever.
Yeah, he has to give something, because if you tell me the bepochus me shobepruta lo mekanya, so
Right.
thin air for sure she's not mekanya. You know.
Right. No, but I mean, in this case, the Kenyan was a Kenyan. That's a kedushin. Does she have a separate taina that now you caused me to lose money?
I understand that you're saying that the kiddushin, because when she received it, she thought she was going to keep
At the
that.
time, it was 100% a valid item and a valid Kenyan.
Yeah, but if separate to that, he has to return it. I would think in order for it that should be daita nocha, she should want a replacement on that. Otherwise, I don't think she's going to put up with that.
That's a different story.
No,
What his wife
I
is
don't
going to
think
put up with is that
I
what
don't
his
think
wife
it's
is going to put up with is only relevant because she's talking his wife.
I don't think she would want to be mitzkadeshes with that. Or you saying it's
But
too late?
no,
She's
but the
been
kedushin was
with
already
already.
called. It's already a good kedushin. Yeah.
I don't know if Lemafreya you could raise a question for this.
It's mashma from the Alter Rebbe. No, from the Ramah, from whatever how the Alter Rebbe explains it.
It's a
No,
very interesting thing. This you should know, because it's not a typical case
it's a
of
very not
Kiddush.
typical case. But it's just unbelievable the limudim that the Alter Rebbe learns out from this simple few words in the shail of the shach. How the Alter Rebbe learns
I
out a
want to tell you
whole.
something. On that Kunta Sacram from the Alter Rebbe, you could give shiurim upon shiurim upon shiurim on every line, because
Right on every detail of that,
yeah,
because
it's
and each detail it has an afkim, it has an afkimin in there. It's not just stam abstractions.
I have Hilchas Pesach with Divrei Sholem. It just occurred
Yeah,
to me. I think I'm going to look at Kunta Sacran. I'm sure he's going to
leave it there.
talk. He's going to have what to say over there.
Yeah, fine. So now that Ramah we did already, right? The Ramah for
We did the Ramo. We did the Smeh and the
Ramah.
Shach.
What's next is the fine is the. So let's see what's the. Let me see what's the next. Mare Mokim we need to look at. Looks like Shin Nun Tes. See if Aleph.
Yeah, we're skipping.
Shin Nun Tes if Aleph is the next thing.
Shin Nun Tes.
Yeah.
Isur Gezela. Can I just say before we start, Ha'ora on this, in Bava Kama, Dafayin Tes,
Yeah.
Amud Aleph, it says that Gazlan does not pay Kefir and Dalveh.
Right. Correct.
That's
Only a Ganav does.
on a Ganav. So before we start learning Hilchos Gezela, we should be aware of that.
Yeah.
That if it's caught, v'nimtza b'yodoi, and then that only applies to a Ganav and not to a Gazlan.
Right. Right.
So
A Gazlan doesn't even doesn't pay kefili and not even kefil and not dalday.
nothing.
Just you got to give back the item.
Yeah.
Fine.
Mishon Fangen, yeah?
Yeah, Shinun Tes, yeah. Aleph.
Aleph?
Yeah.
Okay. Osur ligzoir oil lashoik. It's prohibited to steal oil lashoik or to withhold back.
Yeah.
Afilu kol shehu, any amount.
Right.
Even bein me Yisrael, bein me akum, whether it's from a yid or from a goy. Notice over here it's saying any amount, even by a goy, any amount.
Yeah.
Also, doesn't differentiate between a yid and a goy. On Nisodorais, Nisodorabonon, right?
Not by Gezel and not even by meaning he doesn't hold by the limud. Comes from the Rambam, I think, but he doesn't hold by the limud of Reyecha.
On Losashoik.
Right. Not only he holds it, it doesn't extend to Gezel. He holds it doesn't extend
Yeah, no, which is Gezel is an extension. It's a limud. Loisashoik recha. If you darshan recha,
right.
that's
So if you learn
it
right,
on Oishek. It's a word after Loisashoik recha. You know, I'm
right.
saying that
No, but
und
I'm
deswegen he
saying,
doesn't.
but he doesn't have the limud that a yecha means only a Jew.
Right. And Bemela, the din of Oishek applies by a goy too. Look at this.
Yeah,
Offene Zach.
yeah,
Ve'im hu dover deleke man de kopit bei, shori kegoin, litoil me'achavilo oy me'ageder, lachtos v'shinov, like a toothpick, right?
yeah,
V'av ze oiser be'Yerushalmi, even this is also be'Yerushalmi, mibidas chasidus. That even something that the leke man de kopit, even then it's also mibidas chasidus.
yeah.
I'm saying
Fine.
yet.
Let's look at the
Let's look at the Smeh.
smeh. Yeah,
Also ligzol oilashe khula the gamlo sasho kesrecho ksiv vesomo ksiv zayin ches is boir ma ben gezel oishek vechein hu betul. Can you tell me what he wants to say? The gamlo sasho kesrecho ksiv. What is
so
that?
he's saying, hang on a second, I thought it says Zreyacho.
Right. That's the most obvious question.
So he's saying that even though
ואפילו כלשהו, דחצי שיעור איסור דאורייתא כמו שאוסר חצי שיעור באיסורים. So by moment
right,
or so,
just like buying Isur, even though you might not get Malchus,
yeah, the
but
famous,
right, or you may not have to bring a carbon or whatever it is, but the Isur you still did an Isur.
you know Rabbi Pikoski from 770, you got him or he was after your time? Before your time?
It was, I mean, it was. I never had him when I was. I mean, I
He,
remember him,
he,
but
he,
I remember him from, like when I was a bacher. But
he once said, shir and chatzi shir is still ringing in my ears. In chatzi shir, and by Isurim and by moments and stuff like
yeah,
that. That was his. That was a topic. He loved that. Chatzi shir. But he is saying that Chatzi shir applies here by
right. Just like
Mominist,
it applies by Isurin, it applies
by
by Mammon
Surim.
also.
Yeah, yeah. So
Only
that's why
what?
that's why
Only
any
what?
amount.
By Isurin, you're not gonna have Malchus. By Mammon, you're not gonna have repayment.
Yeah,
But still, the Chatzis applies.
yeah. Yes, Loden, but if you want to do tshuva, can you pay Chatzi shir or not?
Yeah, yeah. It's a good question, but
No,
besides, I
it's
think you
been
don't. They're
it's
not
been
gonna extract it from you for sure.
yeah, it's been spoken about. Okay, Shinnun Tes Shach, yeah. Also Ligzol Oilashoik Beshas Reish Bava Kama Mashma de Begazan Chayv Leshalem Meidius Kemazik.
Yeah.
והראש והנימוקי
Nimukis.
יוסף שם, וכן המרשל שם, סימן וו וכן, הוא הדין לקמון, סימן. So he has that chumrah, even though he doesn't have the chumrah of Dalit Vehei and
Right. So he
Kefal,
doesn't have Dal Vehei, he doesn't have Kefil,
but
but
it
still he
has
does have
that
to pay me Idis.
Edis, yeah. That's from Baba Kama. Okay, let me then yet let's continue on this meh, and then we'll do the shach on this page, right? Ben Meisor ben Beakum, the Gezel Akum begnivosen Osur. Velo itiru elo latoisam becheshboin ve'afkos halvosoi.
Like we had in Ramah before.
According to the first opinion in the Ramah.
Or well, he's saying that he means not even the Machmirim is only lahatesim of Avkos Lavasi. Sorry,
Yes, yes, you're
Mekilim.
right.
The Mekilim, the Machmirim
Yeah.
is not even. But he's
No,
saying at most
at
lo
most,
hitiru
yeah,
ela
yeah,
lahatesim
yeah.
kasam, yeah.
Oh, but not more than that. You know, if lehatoisam yo, it's only becheshbon. But not b'meka b'memke. That's a pshat. Nish b'meka b'memke.
Yeah.
That's what we went to this morning. Remember? the hafkor that we said before,
Rafka is only Havase.
halvosoi and derech hamas. Also, if you remember,
Right, Derech Hamas, Derech Chayiv, either
derech
one.
choiv, but not
But
derech
not Mekach Umemker.
mekach.
Now, but by the Cheshbon, it can be Mekach Umemker, but not by Afka.
But that, well, I'm talking about the way hafkor. Oh, you mean
Yeah, by Afka,
atoisem
yeah. Oh, yeah.
becheshbon on
Yeah, Mekach
everything?
Umemker, no.
Yeah, leatoisem becheshbon in everything, and of
Yeah.
course, halvosoi only on
Yeah, Mas and Chayiv, yeah.
mas or cheshbon, right? Or well,
Or Chayiv, yeah.
choiv, yeah.
Yeah.
ודווקא בדובר שלא יבוד אלוהי כגוי שהיו חייב להביא העקום, whatever, that's not the umurim כותב שם בהגות,
Yeah, there's
דס
no
או
way anybody
אימן,
can find
אפילו זה
out. They
גם
can't be a Chil
also.
Hashem.
It says here that Ramo
Oh, and
himself
here he
says,
brings the other opinion.
yeah. You see?
Yeah.
Okay. וזה אויסר בירושלמי, right? In the case, the man that לא copied, right? The time could be the אילו אויסר כן כל אחד, so then נמצא החבילה, all of הגדר, נרס, עד כאן לשוינה.
Right.
That's,
So, if there's a big march of 10,000 people, and each one will take a little thing, the whole thing's gonna get messed up.
yeah. Ben
So
Be'akum,
but now that's why is it Derech Hasidus? Because you personally didn't do something that's begeder damage.
yeah.
It's only everybody together. So that's not your so you can't pin that on any one person.
Right. So Ben Be'akum, Kosovo Kesef Mishnah, the Daik HaRambam Lichtov, also le Gozlo le Oshkoi ga Be'akum, Beloi Kosov Shoi Berolov. לא אומר שאין איסור זה מן התוירה. מדבר הרמב"ם, יחוס גנבה שהעתיק המחבר לעיל, ריש סמך שלא משמע כן. In other words,
Right? There's mashma that it's midiraisa.
the Kesef Mishnah was a mechaber. It's not really what I would expect the mechaber would say, you know, because he himself paskins this or deraisa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we do see that he
And he generally likes to paskin like him too, no?
we also do see that he'll sometimes argue on the Rambam in Kesef Mishnah and paskin like him nonetheless in the Mechaber. Meaning he has a shaila on him, but
yeah. Okay. So he said. So the Kosovo Marshal Perika Goizel Basra.
which by the way brings big questions. This brings big questions. It brings big questions because if you remember, we held that the Mechaber holds it's midiraisa only because he's holding like the Rambam. But if you remember, he didn't say it straight out. That's what I was saying.
That doesn't
become straight out.
That's what I was saying now.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of thing that I would expect coming out of the Mechaber when he himself is basing himself on the Rambam. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but not just that. If you look in the Sif Aleph over there, he's mashmit a little bit. He doesn't. He's not clearly. He doesn't say a clear minatero.
Okay, mashma also minatero. Miu leinen dino hichria marshal shom b'reshrash b'zenu deino elo midarabonon ein shom ein mashkos il ein betuvas ramo. Okay, again, this is a tremendous discussion because now he's saying that the Ramo, not only saying that Ramo says midarabonon, he's saying that's the last thing he says. The Ramo holds it's the Rabbanon. Shkoyach. And the Rashal says midrabanan. Shkoyach. All these things we knew. But to say that the Mechaber it holds like that also, that's a big chiddush.
Right, especially since he doesn't say it clear at all in Smach.
I don't know what to make out of this.
Meaning he opens himself even more to say that maybe Taka he holds like he says in Kesef Mishnah.
What complicates matters more is that and I know that even according to the Alter Rebbe, there is an instance by
Right. When it's
by
Bali Odi
Gezeras
Behetir,
Akum,
yeah.
where it could be the Rabbanon,
Yeah, Bali Odi Behetir is Midrabanan, yeah.
so to go and say that that's the kavana of the shach, maybe, hey,
But remember also that the Shach did not understand. He was not able to. He did not answer that Ramah where the Alter Rebbe did answer the Ramah. So
exactly. It's the most perplexing thing over here. I have, weren't you, before you learned the shach now, weren't you under the impression that the Mechaber and the Rambam were in,
I was under the impression that the Rambam holds its Midairaisa, and
and
based on this, the Mechaber holds its Midairaisa,
also it's Megalant the
right?
ganze Zeit, and it's
Yeah.
not we're not having like
And now he casts he casts both the Rambam and the Mechaber into doubt. And it could be one holds this way and the other holds that way, or it could be that one holds that way and this one holds this way. It could be any way.
I think this begs a little eon, no, just a leaf of.
Probably.
I don't know. I'm mamish like.
And now what do we say that the Mechaber left it out? Does he hold that the Rambam holds midrabanan, so he holds also midrabanan, so he just left it out, but we go by the Rambam, or did he leave it out? The Rambam holds midraisa, but he holds midrabanan, or or the other way around?
Let's
The
check
Rambam
out the
holds
ber. Let's check out the ber hatev. Look what he says. Kosav Akesav Mishnah. The diek meharambam, yeah. Lichtiv also legozer chulu velo kosav sheoiver olov. Loimer she'ein isu ze min haTorah. Midivra Rambam reishilchus geneva shehetik hamechaber bereish shin memches loy mashmakein.
right, like we were understanding.
Yeah, we weren't hallucinating. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah. listen. I don't know if we understood this or not, but crazy at least we're not.
We're not, because he's saying. I mean, we
He's saying,
read.
yeah. He's saying this is the mashmos,
We
like we were saying.
that's the way we learned it, no? ועין מה שכוסף שם, וכך כוסף הרש"ל, פרק הגויזל, שמדברי הרמב"ם אלו סמג, משמע שעושה מן התורה.
Right, which the Shach himself brought. The funny thing is the Shach himself brought this in Smach.
Mendel, this is a machloikes apoiskim how to learn a Rambam. Look at it. He says it clearly. This is the way we to resolve it. He said, look at it over here. Mashme shomet mihu le'inyan dino, hichriya me'arshal shom kipirush Rashi b'Sanhedrin, deinoi elomid rabbanon. Right?
Well, that's the Marshal. We know the Marshal holds that way.
I mean, why is he bringing the Marshal if not to say that, to be machriya, to say that the Rambam holds like that too?
I don't know.
To base himself,
or at least to give basis for look, he's not he wouldn't be the only one that held that way.
Smag mashma sheosim min haTorah. All these things that you see, Medaf verstehen, what is a bad hater bringing all these things? We know it already. If not for the fact that he wants to show that the Rambam, if we had to say that the Rambam, right? If the Rambam holds his midrabanan, he wouldn't be the only person to say that.
Meaning he's giving makim to that svara.
Yeah, because look what he's saying over here. If you ask me, you think that's it's such a big diuk, because he doesn't say it's also, and he doesn't say oiver olov. That's a big diuk for you.
I wouldn't have thought so, and had he not
I
mentioned
wouldn't
it.
have thought so. I mean, it's a Kesef Mishnah. I mean, I'm not saying not, but I wouldn't have come up with that diuk to think that, to say that the Rambam holds it's with Rabbanon. That's why it says also, like also the Rabbanon, and not over olov. Over olov means over love.
Yeah. And then, and here's what's interesting. What's interesting is in Smach, when he's talking about Geneva, the Mechaber says, Eiver Olav, by Akum, by Geneva.
You're not going to tell me now to be mechalik.
He does use that lashon.
And you're not going to come to farem for yourself by saying to be mechalik between Gezela and Geneva. But that's such a thing. I don't.
Well, we know. We know there's such an opinion that Geneva is midiraisa and Gezela is midrabanan. By going.
So what are you going to say now? That the diuk, this diuk of the Rambam.
In fact, the Marshal who holds that Gezel Akum is midrabanan, holds that Geneva is midiraisa also. He doesn't hold Geneva is midrabanan. Wait a second. No, because somebody holds that who held that Geneva is also midrabanan. Was that the Marshal?
You know, my memory fails me to say that there is such a machloikus, that there's such a chiluk between Geneva and Gezela, that by one thing is Doraisa and one is Darabonon. I don't remember hearing such a thing.
No, there is such a thing. The opinion that holds by Reyecho. That because Reyecha is written by a Gazlan and Reyecha is not written by a Ganev. That was the whole diuk of Reyecha to those who hold that.
Yeah, but it does. That's talking about Gezela. No.
Gezela is
Re'echo is Gezela. It's Losashik.
Gezela is nearly Sashik. So it's Re'echo.
Blimey.
But by Geneva, it doesn't say that Re'echo.
What do you say?
Saying by Gezela it says Re'echo. By Geneva it doesn't say Re'echo. So that's.
I was going to say so. Geneva is the Oraisa by a Yid and by a Goy, right? And Geneva is only Chai and Gezela and Gezela only by a Yid because it's Re'echo. Losashoik and Losig Zoil is in the same pasuk.
It seems that the Rambam holds clearly that Geneva, not just that, we see that he says Eiver Alav by Geneva, and the Mechaber also holds clearly that Geneva is Mideiraisa. Because he says also he brings that lotion from the Rambam, Eiver Alav.
By a Goy, right?
And it's only the Marshal. The Marshal holds that Geneva is also midrabanan. but it's funny because so you can't bring that as a proof necessarily because the Rambam clearly holds that Geneva is midraisa. The only question is, does he hold that Gezel is midraisa or not? Now the good thing is we do know from the Shulchan Aruch Harav that the way he reads it is that it's both midraisa. So he doesn't hold by this whole thing.
And anyway, why did the Berheitev now say, ask a kasha on the Kesef Mishnah, because Umidivra Rambam Reishilchus Geneva to ask on Gezela, if what you're saying is true? If it's so glatik that we can be mechalik between Geneva and Gezela.
Also over there, it's clearly talking about Geneva, so I don't understand why.
Exactly.
Right, so what proof is he bringing from there?
Exactly, that's my kasha.
There's Geneva, here's Gezela. What's the difference?
So was fragst du mir von der Sach ahin? Ja, Unahin of Aher. You know what I mean? It's always talking about one case, one you're talking about another case.
You know the Marshal, he, even though he himself holds that it's even though he himself holds that it's midrabanan, he holds that the Rambam holds that it's midiraisa. The Marshal. That's what he's saying.
He's saying that
He's saying two things. He's saying that the Marshal and the Smag both say that the Rambam
Rabbanan.
holds its midiraisa. Even though the Maharshal himself holds that it's midrabanan, he says that the Rambam holds it's midiraisa.
Nochamo, what did you say before that the Marshal?
There's two separate things. The Marshal. There's what the Marshal holds himself,
Yeah,
and what he says
said,
the Rambam holds.
Yeah. That, yeah.
So he says that the Rambam holds that it's midiraisa, and he holds even Gezel's midiraisa according to Marshal. The Marshal himself holds that both Geneva and not only Gzela, even Geneva is midrabanan. However, even though he holds that way, he holds the Rambam holds it's midiraisa by both.
By both. And what do we do with the Mechaber, with the diuk of the Mechaber?
The Mechaber uses the Mechaber becomes more complicated because you have to say that the Mechaber holds that the Rambam holds by Geneva is midiraisa, and furthermore you have to say that the Mechaber himself holds that Geneva is midiraisa. Why? Because he uses the Lashon HaRambam over alav. He uses that Lashon there. And here he doesn't use neither the Rambam nor him. So now comes the questions of what does the Rambam hold by now, according to the Mashal and the Smag, we know what he holds. But according to the Mechaber, what does the Rambam hold and what does the Mechaber himself hold? That's not clear. That's the part that's not clear. Is by Gezela, what does the Mechaber hold that the Rambam holds, and how does the Mechaber pass himself?
Yeah, exactly. Mechaber, what does he hold himself? Well, according to
it's clear that by Geneva, both the Rambam and the Rambam and the Mechaber hold it's
Deoraisa,
and the Marshal holds this midrabanan.
And by Gezela,
the Marshal holds that it's midrabanan. The Marshal furthermore holds that the Rambam holds it's deiraisa.
And it argues in the Kesef Mishnah, who says that the Rambam holds that it's the Rabbanan.
Yeah, but now the question is: what's the Mechaber? How does the Mechaber read that Rambam, and how does he himself paskin? That's not clear.
When it says when the Shach says over here loy mashma kain, is he just saying it doesn't seem that it's the Oraisa, right? But
why? Because the diuk haloshin. But the problem is the Mechaber goes ahead and uses that same diuk haloshin here.
And then according to the way the Shach is learning, what are you going to say? That the Mechaber holds it's also the Rabbanan.
I think the Shach is holding the same like the Berhetiv is holding. I think Berhetiv just explained.
I think the Shach is trying to say that both the Mechaber and the Rambam hold that by Gezel it's the Rabbanan.
It's
Can I tell you why?
Well, not because the Rambam, it depends according to who.
No. The Shach,
according to the Marshal and the Smag, the Mechaber holds it's midiraisa. It's mashma that the Mechaber holds that the Rambam holds it's midrabanan though.
The reason why he's trying, look at the strategy. I mean, you have to read between the lines also. I mean, I could be wrong, but look at this. The strategy is like this. The Shach is saying that there's, according to the Kesef Mishnah, we could interpret the Rambam to hold in Gezela, in Ilchus Gezela, that Gezela's Akko Is Isur
Why?
Darabon,
Because
right
of
or
the
not?
Kaloshin.
Yeah, very nice, right? Correct or not? That who says that? The Kesef Mishnah says that, right?
Yeah.
So the Mechaber it doesn't necessarily mean that he says that. That's not. But that's one thing.
Well, but here's the problem. The problem is we already know from the Kesef Mishnah that's what the Mechaber holds that Diukaloshin means.
Oh,
And he himself uses that Diukaloshin here.
he himself
So
uses a Lashon
it's
Hara.
mashma that the Mechaber holds it's midrabanan.
If you
That's the
say
most of it.
if you say that's in fact what he meant, but in the case of Mishnah was the Mechaber himself uses that lotion which he says implies that
Right, it implies that, and then he goes ahead and uses it.
so
I mean, what else are we supposed to think?
so exactly. So it seems that we have a very strong tzad to believe that the Mechaber holds that by Gezel it's the Rabbanon.
Yeah. So it seems there's basically there's three different piskei dinim here. Right? You have Shulchan Aruch Harav, and possibly the Ramah also, based on that Kutei Sachin, that hold that both is midiraisa. You have the Marshal who holds that they're both midrabanan, and you would have, it seems, the Mechaber who holds that Gneva is midiraisa and Gezel midrabanan. That's how it would seem the sheetas fall out.
Imagine when we first started learning this, we thought the Mechaber held
Claude, right?
across the street, across
Right.
the board.
But that was by Gneva.
Yeah, but Geneva and between you and me, like the Berheta very rightly points out, and the impression is that he had the same stance on the what do you call it, on Gezela also. Otherwise, he wouldn't say what he says. The Berheta over here, right? And it was the Ramah who held this Rabbanan, if you remember that, and by Geneva and Asher al Kain, we all had the impression that would be by Gezela also. And now, before you know it, it's the Ramah who holds by Gezela that it's Deraisa, and it's a Mechaber who holds it. But the thing is this: are you going to be mechalek with between Gezela and Geneva according to the Ramah or not?
Again.
Is ich a chiluk in the Ramah between Gezela and Geneva? When the Alter Rebbe said that
So that's what I'm saying. So now, I wouldn't have known it otherwise, but lefi the kuntres achen there.
what is he talking about over
I don't
there?
know. I mean, it would be mashma. It would be mashma for sure that that he could hold that way. I don't know if it's
By Gezela.
yeah, by both. That's midiraisa. The Ramach certainly could hold that way based on that kuntres achen. Meaning, because the only reason that he made an exception was because it was bali beheter, which is mashma that otherwise he holds it's midraisa.
Right.
I mean, I'm reading between the lines there a little bit, but
Yeah. Moridik schwer. I don't know.
it's good if we understood everything. I would know we weren't learning it right.
The Alter Rebbe says, in order to achieve proper bittul, learn Shas and Halachas. If you learn it properly, you begin to understand. You don't understand.
You'll get bittul very fast.
Als man lernt das über die Helmschäden lernen, meint man es mit etwas, aber.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what's the next thing here. The next thing is
Not base. I think Aleph and Beis we have to learn for sure. Though he learned Gimel Dalet Hey Vav.
Yeah. Let me see. So that's all that fine. So now it looks like he jumps to Vov is what is it? Well, we had in the beginning. It was Vov through something, but you know what? It's only a few. Let's go straight through.
Yeah,
Let's go straight. Let's go straight through to Yud Base to the end of this Simon. I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Very
yeah.
good.
So
Let's go. Okay. Also, liegt soll afilo al minas l'shalom dover yofim imenu. Right? You want to steal something, and you're going to pay back with something even nicer. So the guy is going to gain out of your theft, so to speak. Still a chayev. It's also.
yeah. Right.
ויש מי שאומר, דהיינו, אם אין התשלומים באין.
Right. He doesn't have it. Liquid.
Why is the N in Rashi form?
I don't know. Maybe because it was a total safe at some point. Is that it in?
Yeah, and they fixed it up. Yeah. דהיינו, אם אין התשלום באין, שאם הם באין, כיוון שהם יופים מהדובר שלוקח זכות הוא להם. ויזכה יוצר בעולם מידי אחר. One second.
Yeah. Now let's just remember.
What's that?
We're gonna see soon. He's dafka talking by David O'Aimid L'Mechira here. He's not talking about waltzing into somebody's house, because that would be Leisachmid.
So also ligzer afil al menas sham dover yov menu v'yesh mi she'emer dehainu imein tashum be'ein. What do you mean? Which tashlumin?
Meaning he's paying him. He's paying him. He's giving him. He's paying him better than even the asking price.
Also ligzer afil al menas sham dover yov menu v'yesh mi she'emer dehainu imein tashum be'ein. If that dover yofe is
That
not
the isur is when that
when
the
that
isur
you do,
of taking it without paying, and you're gonna pay, but I'm gonna pay him better. No usur. That's when he doesn't actually have it, the money on hand. Like
yeah.
I just have to run. Let me run down the block and grab my money. Right, but if he has tashlum be'en, then he's giving him better than what he's asking for. He's being mizaka him.
Is this a
Now
keli he's paying with,
very important. Let's remember
is
that we're talking about davar ha'imid l'mechira. This whole sug is very confusing until we remember that.
Can I ask you a question? I understand that, but what does it mean by over here? Are we talking about cash or are we talking about a keli?
It could be either.
Yeah.
And based on what he's saying, I mean, generally nowadays it would be cash, but it means the payment, whatever the payment.
Menu means more a better price.
Even better. I'm gonna you remember the story with by David where they went and they needed feed for the horses and they brought them adoshim.
Yes.
And so the adoshim were better than the barley that they had. It's better than sa'irim. But you have to have it. You have to have it there. You can't just.
Okay. הם באין, כיוון שהם יופי מהדובר שלוקח, ואיביס באין, וחוץ הוא להם, ויזכה אויסם לבעל מידי אחר. Why does it be על ידי אחר?
Oh, you remember that one because so that the other guy is what do you call it? He's like magnets for him. He's it's you remember that was the case that
for him.
there. Yeah. So let's look in this man the shach. It explains the better the whole thing.
Okay, I see where you see that bedover shabal omer limocher.
But you need the third guy there to because like
Yeah.
this I'm like this I'm look I'm showing you I'm taking it and I'm bringing it back better. It keeps it
Okay,
honest.
so you're giving the other guy to give to him, in other words.
Yeah.
Okay, ben Yisrael ben beakum de gezel akum vegnivosan asur
Wait,
velo
where did we go to?
itiru.
No, we did this
No,
already.
I did it.
Hey, Sivkot hey.
Hey, afilu amenas shalim. So then he says, "Begemara Yolev midichsiv chavoy liyoshiv rosh gezela yishalem reitzalem avagav de gezela yishalem rosh mikre." Okay, it's
Yeah.
do you understand? It's
Yeah.
an instance where you can pay and you can still be
And you still
considered.
got the Russia, you still over on Nisser, yeah.
Yeah. דהיינו, אם אין, הטעם שמא לא יהיה לו במה לשלם אך כך חוסף הראש. שאם הן באין, do you understand why it has to be if it's be'ain? Because if it doesn't,
Yeah, then he doesn't have it, and then it turns out he's Mamish Gazlan.
yeah, he has to come up with the money right away.
Yeah, otherwise he'll end up he thought he was gonna have the money, this, he that. Now you're Gazlan, Mamish.
דהיינו, אם אין חול הטעם שמא לא יהיה לו במה לשלם אך כך חוסף הראש.
Yeah.
שאם הן באין פירוש, והן מין אחר, והגזן צורך למין זה שגויזל. כאין מייסה שהויו אנשי דוד צריכים סעורן, ובהמתם והם רוצים לשלם תחתיהם הדושים, שלא יהיו ראויים לבהמתם.
Right, they had Adoshim, and Adoshim is better than Sa'idim. Elamai, they needed a Sa'idim because Adoshim you can't feed to the horses.
But it seemed to be a good mecher that way.
But it's better. Yeah, you're giving him they're giving them better something that's better.
Because it was
I need the thing that's worse because my horse can't eat the thing that's better.
because it was be'ain, that's why.
Yeah, but they had the Adoshim Bain.
ויזכה אויסו לבעולים על ידי אחר פירוש, אם אין הבעולים כאן, אמרינן מסתמן ניחא לי בזוכן לאודם שלו בפוניו. אבל כשאינו בעין, אף שפיר ענף שליטן לו דובר הטוב, ממנו מסתמן לא ניחא לבעולים לידי דימו בדינה ודיינה. So that's not going to help you. ולפעמים לא יהיה אלוהי במה לשלם. You see, it's just going to be it's going to get dirty.
And now you ended up being a Gazlan Mamish.
ואם היה בעולם כאן, ואם המניחה לנו בשלנו ולא בדבר אחר, אף הטור ממנו נראה פשוט.
Right, which is pashut, meaning you don't make an assumption when you don't make an assumption in a case where you could clarify.
Even if it's
so if they're here in front of you, clarify. If they're not in front of you, then you make this assumption that they would rather have this better product instead of their one.
But if it's in front of you, then you don't make such assumption.
And clarify. Yeah. Shach.
Yeah. And another thing is, it says, ואם היו בעולם כאן, ואם המניחה לנו בשלנו, ולא בדבר אחר, אף הטוב ממנו, and even, obviously we're talking about when it's be'ain, otherwise we wouldn't be even entertaining this whole thing.
Right, we're talking
Need a
about
portion of Kulam also. Fine. Okay, let me get Yetz of Gimel, yeah? Kol hagoizel es chaveru afilu shove pruta ke'ilu noitel nafshoi. Oy vey.
the shach.
Oh, there's shach, sorry. Yesh mishomer, yeah? No.
Yeah. Yesh mishomer, yeah.
Yesh mishomer, afakav tamrin leilis eishamach samach, the also lignoi val menas v'shalem kefer, hosam mayri b'she'enu mezaklo al de'acher. שאם מזק לו מדבר על ידי אחר, לא יגון במקרה, לא יפגן במקרה. כיוון שהאחר יודע מזה, כן נראה לי, ובכתירס בדוחק. It seems that in a case where he's not mezake על ידי אחר, is what he's talking about over there in the case of kefil. Be mezake the kefil to somebody, like fake kefil, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not really kefil. Kefil is when you steal from somebody, you have to pay him.
Right.
Over there, in the case of Kefil, there was no Zechia over here. You know what I'm saying? Over there, in the case of Kefil. But if there would have been Zechia, yeah, then it would have been good, yeah?
Yeah.
How you Zoiche Kefil to somebody beats me. Can you explain that to me? How you Mezake Kefil? He says, ob ze wohl gewinn mit Kefil, wollte Mezake mit dem. He says, a house mighty b'shem Mezake the but the Mezake loy, because if over there, in the case of a Ganav, right? He
Right.
would have Mezake miyad
Then it's not the Gneva because you're Mizaket. He was
How
another,
are you
somebody else was
Mezake the
Mizaket
Kefil?
for him.
How are you Mezake the Kefil? You just say this is all, you know, it's a pantomime we're doing over here. You know, like what
No,
is?
it means he tells tells another person, listen, I'm going to take this thing,
Yeah.
and so that I can give him, so I can pay him twice. So you be Mizake. So he's saying, is not what the meaning? What's the difference in this case? Not case. He's saying, oh, there he didn't have another person who was Mizake.
So when you steal, you're stealing, having in mind to be mezaka the kefil when you steal. No, you're not going to be mezaka kefil now before you steal because you're not chayav kefil.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
It's like he's saying it's like a catch-22.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a pantomime. I'm gonna do.
It's a show. It's not rewrite.
It's a show, exactly.
At that point, you're not a gan if you're not chayiv kefil. So,
then it would be good. Then you
no,
could
but
steal.
there, but it's a weird thing because there we're talking about a David that's in even lemechet.
Where over there?
Yeah, but who cares? He's not keeping the item. He's not keeping it. So who cares?
He's giving him back more
Right.
than
So
that.
who cares? Right.
Anyway, over there it's talking about money and not talking about an object and all
Yeah.
that, you know. Totally
Anyway,
different.
yeah, and
If he knows for sure that it's a schus.
right.
וכגוין בדובר אוימד עם מוכר, אבל חפצה בייסוי לוי, כן כזו הטור. ומשמע בדבורוב שהראש, מיידי בקהי גבנה. אוקיי, בהוכי ניחא דלוי כושר כל מה שהיקשה מרשל פרק הקוינס, סימן חובזין על הראש, בהוכי ניחא מה שהטויסוס פרק הקוינס, ריש דף סמך Kriegeleinen dienen der Rosh. Ein schon, beduk, ונראה דמשקוס בטור בדובר, אוי מדלי מוכר, לא יצלם שידוע בבירור שהבעל לא יחזיקנו לעצמו רק אם קראנו. We know for sure that it's dover also limocher. I think that's what it means. I think it's just, isn't he giving like a definition of what it's about or not?
Well, the double in the machis is an example, but basically he has to know for a fact that it's a schus for him. Otherwise, how can he be mzakim? So there has to be you have to have a fairly good idea that it's taka as chusuli.
Okay. From it's mashma for me that you have to be positive. If you deal with birur, the lotion of the shach.
Yeah, but how do you know bavir if he's not in front of you? So it means that you have in other words, that if you go back to the other case we were talking about, that in this sort of case everybody would hold.
Or he was already megalit das and everybody knows about it. It's well known that he wants to get rid of it.
Oh, you have Adashim. He's looking for Adashim.
That's mamis the whole day. He wants to make a birthday party.
Right, or it could be that everybody knows that in other words, that this item that you're giving is better than what he has.
Yeah, but that's not good enough. It has to be that the guy wants it.
Because we had it before. Bevirur meant that kol ha'ilam.
Oh, you mean that his bottle died to itself, colloidal maybe that kind of thing, because it's like everybody wants it, so
But
that's
mamish,
it.
but not some people. It's a clear meaning. It's a clear thing that this exchange everybody would hold as a good exchange.
Can I tell you something? It can't be an assumption. It has to be we're 100% sure of it. You know what I'm saying?
Fine, but you could be sure based on the fact that everybody knows this. This is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Hanami. But that's
Listen. Let's say I need silver for some reason, and you're getting rid of the silver, and I'm going to give you gold that's valued at more. It's klud. It's a klud zach. Even without talking to him, it's a klud zach. This is better. And furthermore, we know he's trying to get rid of the silver.
That's it.
So in such a case, it's buttered. It's
Yeah.
but it can't be. But it has to be something that's clear. Yeah.
That's it. Okay. כל הגוי זה לצחק גימל. כל הגוי זה חברו אפילו שווה פרוטה, כאילו נטל נפשי, כאילו נטל נפשי זאת דסמה, שנאמר בכובע אס קובעיהם נופש של עיל בסימן שמ"ח שלמטס, כסבתי דיש פלוגתא בזה עם נפשי של גזלן או עם נפשי של...
Right, he's taking his life or he's taking the guy's life. Whose life is he taking? That is not clear.
Good. Very good. Okay,
Dalit.
Dalit. אלו על דס לשלם.
And no, first the mechaber.
אפילו הוא בסכונס מובס וצורך לגזול את חברוי כדי להציל נפשי צורך שלא ייקחנו אלא על דס לשלם.
Right.
Which normally is osur, but because
because sakonis nefashis, you can gaz, but only al menas l'shalom. Otherwise, you're avers and you're a gazlan.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like a heter in the case of pikuach nefesh.
But even that heter is only al menas l'shalom, not just you take.
Yeah. No, I think al menas l'shalom is the Yeah, Pirush, אבל על דס לשלם מותר, כיוון שהוא בסכונס נפש, you see? It's clear from the smed that if it's not pikuach nefesh, you're not allowed to do that.
No.
Hey, אפילו הלוקח בשאלו שלא מדסה בעולם נקרא גזלן. If you borrow something without the knowledge of the owner, he's considered a gazlan. Vov, hachoitev mashkon miyad haloive. Shalom b'shus bezin. We had this, remember?
Yeah.
Bezin. Harazeh gazlan afa b'shu chayev lei, because he did it freelance without being authorized by Bezdin.
Yeah, even though Taka the guy owes the money.
Yeah. So then the din is.
He's a gazlan.
He owes him money.
Right, he owes you money. Right.
Okay, let me just learn the Smevov, Yudalef, yeah?
Yeah.
Hachoi tef mashken chula ein leil berei samach simen tzadik b'divrei hatur v'mechaber, מה שכתבתי. Okay. הרי זה גזם בטור כוסף ונקרא גזם נקרא רצה שהוא בכלל איסור גזלו וגם הוא פוסל לעדס.
He doesn't just say how to, right? He doesn't just say how to זה גזלן. He says ונקרא גזלן.
ונקרא גזלו דאז הכוסף.
Why ונקרא גזלן? He's called a gazlan, meaning that he's also פוסל לעדס.
לא מעל בחויטל משנה על מה שחייב לו יהיה, כמו שכוסף מחייב בסיפור. איזה גזלן to forcefully to take it out of him. What did you want to say? It's not typical and therefore it's not postulatus? Like, what is he trying to say?
No, he's saying that he is postulatus.
Yeah, but it's.
But he's saying, but this is not the Iker Gezela that the pasuk was talking
and therefore,
about. Rather, what is he? Why is he saying he's Nikra Gazlan? He's saying and he's puzzled for Eidos and Shvua. but not that he's mamish a guy. It's really not part of it's not part of the Medeiraisa thing of Leisigzel.
Okay, fine.
But just like a proper Goslin, he's Pasal Edus and Lashvua.
Is he over on the Raisa when he's doing this or not? In other words,
I don't think so.
my question is, when you're over Isa Doraisa, you're Pasal Edus Doraisa. What about when you're not being over Isa Doraisa? You're not going to be over? You're not Pasal Edus Doraisa when you're not over Doraisa. That's not my question.
Fine, but you're still possible
Oh,
midrabanan.
Midrabanan. Is that what he's trying to point out?
I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it sounds like.
That's the impression I'm getting. Because otherwise, why would he
Right,
say?
otherwise, why say he's not a Goslin? So he is a Goslin, midraisa.
What's his
And not only that, if he is a Goslin midraisa, but not from that pasuk, then bring me the pasuk. So what pasuk is he midraisa from? So it sounds like it's a vagzela.
Yeah, he's trying. It's something I would want to look at.
Right, that's the only thing I can imagine he's trying to tell us here. And the shot's not going to like what he's saying, anyways. Say to me. Yeah.
He says the Berhetev learns that it's not nifsaledus, and the Ram, and then
he's taking that from the shach, Mistama.
Yeah, is that the okay? That's on the shach first. Okay, right. Yeah.
Or the Bedek Abayis. Well, the shach is also taken from Bedek Abayis. So yeah, so let's go in the shach. He's also.
Are they Gazlan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Zog the shach. Harab beseper Abayis leil simen lamedad kosov. Al divre haramba meilu ze shamash meilu sheinu nifsal eidus bekach mishum. It's not your classical.
Right.
Okay, so what we assumed was right.
Yeah, so that seems to prove it's the Rabbanon. And if you call a sheet, it would seem the Rabbanon. The question only is he possible for Eidos or not?
Possible Eidos midrabanan, if anything. No?
Midrabanan.
Possible Eidos midrabanan, nicht midrais. Okay, v'atur b'mashu be'arambam sham nifsal Eidos. Umaskim haraba magid sham the divre harambam v'gam kosher benichnas the beis chaveiroi the hatur kosov le'ir l'rizim b'shem Rabbi Shayahu the mitzvah behochi ve'edus, in other words, ve'vio mechaber gufem sham seif aleph miu bechoitev mashkan nira the yofe kosov ledina v'chein mochich medivre rashbam פרק חסכת הבתים, כך הוא רייבן להדיה בסימן חוב זין, דף ידלת הבייס, מיהו, מדברי הרייבן בהסוגס, זה פרק אימו, מלכוס גזלה, ומדברי הרב המגיד, שממש בדרמב"ם, בהנך תרתי מפסליידס. In these two is Basileidus. In other words, whether he did it one way or the other way.
Both of them, whether Nichnas the base or not.
Yeah. Ein Mio Hamigdal Ois Sham Miyashev Divra Rambam Deloi Koru Gazan Eloi Knoisela Hamid Beachrayuso. Yeah, when you take it, should anything happen, you're coiner something. When you steal, you're coiner something. What do you mean you're coiner? You're a thief. How could you be coiner? The pshat is you're coiner. You take responsibility over that.
You're now chayfer if something happens to it.
So it's not
but not mitzad. But it doesn't mean mitzad being possible for edus.
No, right. No, because you could have done pshat. The knoiser means the apostle edus.
Right. So he says no. That's not what he means. It means as far as that you're achrei on it now. If something happens to it, you'll have to replace it.
נמשך עוון תנאי ורמב"ם לעניין דינה ודוק ומוכרח מדברי
Right.
רש"ב.
So it seems the Shach is not so certain about entering the house. That it's possible if you enter the house, and not only that, because if you remember, there's a special thing in the pasuk that you can't enter the house.
Yeah. You mean it could be Isur Lav?
So it could be entering the house of Midiraisa.
Yeah,
I
very
don't
strong
remember
point.
that as far back as when we had that. But
I remember that. I remember that
I don't
too.
remember if it was just a smachta dikra or if it was an actual what's it called. But you can't enter his house. That's from the. It might be the midrais. I think that.
Remember, in a short side,
But if you just chayt of the mashkin, then no, and not like the smell who's mashma that yeah.
that what?
Like the smell who's mashma that he's pasal by chayt of mashkin. By going into the house, says the shach, it could be that he's take pasal and what he called. Because that's Xeris HaKosov, I think.
And what does the smell hold as
The
far
smell
as
holds that by chayt of mashkin also. He's pasal edus. And the Shach says no, he doesn't agree with this, and he brings a bunch of proof why this is not this would not be so.
I don't want to be I don't want to stop the session, but I have to give a shir soon.
Okay, we're I think we're at the it's like it's a minute to 8, so fine,
okay.
good. But
Morgen,
next time we'll do the next.
I have a thing tomorrow evening. I have a simcha.
Okay, tomorrow, fine.
So the thing is this: can we do a session in the morning or not tomorrow?
Good for me.
Tomorrow is Tuesday morning.